Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. We will be doing a full body stretch in just 10 minutes. So feet under your hips, core nice and engaged, shoulders rolled back. I want you to inhale, bend at the knees, look up at the ceiling, and exhale. Do this 2 more times. Remember to have a little bounce just to get that body nice and warm. Then dropping our arm and using our other hand to pull our head slightly to stretch out our neck. Now don't pull too hard, just a nice little tug, and switch to the other side. And breathe through the stretches. That is so important. Now inhale and exhale, bend to one side and to the other side. Getting a nice stretch in the sides of your body. Just warming it up. Good, guys. And then we're gonna stretch up and contract in. So pretend you're on the Titanic and pretend you're hugging a really big teddy bear. Don't let go, Jack, and hug a big bear. Good job. Just warming up the spine, kind of like a standing up cat-cow. Good. And inhale, look up, and we want to dive down with a flat back, putting our hands on the floor or as far as you can reach. Keeping a slight bend in your knees. We want to fully plie, so fully bend your knees, and then fully straighten. Plie and straighten. Try to go down a little bit further at a time. Good. And tiptoeing our way out to a wide second position, we're going to do lunges from side to side, stretching out our inner thighs. And just breathe normally. Don't stress out about breathing today. Just take it nice and easy. And then from here, we're going to pivot into a lunge. And we're going to go into a high lunge. So inhale, bring those arms up to the sky and arch back to lowering your hands down in front of you and then adjusting your leg to go into pigeon position. And then stay upright, keeping that navel to spine. You should feel a nice stretch in your outer thigh. When you're ready, lower down onto your forearms and just enjoy the stretch. Really breathe into it and make sure you're really on top of your hip. And coming up slowly, pivoting our leg out. Make sure you're on top of your sit bones. And inhale. Exhale, fold over, making sure that our shoulders are right on top of each other. And feel free to close your eyes and enjoy this stretch. And then we're going to square off our shoulders, having our nose to our knee. And if you can, reach for your foot and bend your elbow down to your knee to try to get a little calf stretch in there. But if you can't, don't worry. As long as you're feeling a stretch and that it's not too painful, but just the right amount of pain. And switch to the other side. Inhale and reach over. I would normally say keep your belly button to spine, but to be honest, I'm just letting it all hang out. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just really want both of us to focus on the stretch and how good it feels. And come up. Then we're gonna pivot to the other side of pigeon. So really getting on top of that leg, feeling a stretch in our outer thigh and our bum. And you can look up to the ceiling if you want, or you can go all the way down, whichever feels most comfortable for you. And when you're ready, come on up. Using your arms and toes for support, going into your high lunge. And arching back if that feels good for you. Putting your hands down and then stepping your leg back into a downward facing dog. And you can pedal your heels if you like. I love this stretch for my calves. And then roll your spine into plank, lowering your knees and lowering all the way down. Then from here, we're going into cobra. Really trying to pull those shoulders back and having our butt nice and loose. Then replacing it with your hands and going to a mini upward dog. Feel free to move around your head. I know that my shoulders are very tight. And sit back into child's pose. You can have your knees on either side of the mat if that feels good for you. That's really aimed towards your hips. Or you can get your knees together and sit back. That might be a little bit more pressure on the knees, but you'll feel more of a stretch in your shoulders and in your lower back. Depends on what you want. And just breathe. Still stay down there. And then come up. We're going to do needle and thread. So putting your arm up to the ceiling, then threading it through and gluing your shoulder to the ground. And I'm just adjusting my knees so I get more of a twist. And this is killing my shoulder, but in the best way. I hope you're feeling it too. And then switch to the other side. Kind of makes you look like a pretzel. It's a new party trick for you. And come on up, lowering down. And we're gonna clasp our hands and lift our chest up. This is a nice stretch for our shoulders, for our chest. I'm really tight right now, so I can barely lift up off the floor. And if you're really feeling up for it, you can take the top of your feet and then look up at the ceiling and stretch into bow and arrow pose. And release. Not so gracefully, flip onto your back and lower down gently. We're gonna go into our spine twist. So crossing your left leg in front of your right and letting your knees drop down, keeping your shoulders on the floor. Breathe into this nice spine twist. And then when you're ready, I want you to slowly come up and grab a hold of the outside of your feet or your shins, whatever feels good for you, and pull them in. This is kind of like a double pigeon, but on your back. And this is one of my favorite stretches. It feels so good. And switch your legs. And really pull them in, but also breathe. Then taking your hands out to the side and dropping your legs to the other side. This side for me was way tighter than my other, but like I always say in every video, one side is always tighter than the other side. And come back to center, stretching our legs nice and long, and just stretch out like you just got out of bed. You can make one leg longer than the other and switch, getting a nice stretch for your whole body here. And flip onto your side and come up to seated. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you feel nice and energized and stretched. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. See you later.